Hello everyone and welcome to another Vigor dev stream. So just let us know if the sound is okay and we will jump right into it. Right, let's see if everything works fine. Perfect. Alright, so as I said, welcome to another dev stream. I'm Pirit, social media manager for Vigor, and today I'm here with Tony.
Hey guys.
And Victor.
Hello.
And we have quite a few things to talk about actually, because Victor is our environmental designer, so we will be talking a lot about the maps and process of making them. And Tony is here to talk a bit about the backstory when it comes to trailers, how is the process and stuff like that. So before we jump in, can you guys quickly introduce yourselves? Like, what are you doing?
Sure.
Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Victor. I'm the environment designer on Vigor, and I'm from Brno.
Sweet and short. To the point. Okay. Hi everybody. My name is Tony. Marketing specialist. Work on Vigor. My kind of day-to-day things that I work on that you might have seen is that I write the update blogs that we publish on our website with every major and minor update. So if you read one of those, that was probably written by me. And on a few occasions, I have the opportunity to kind of be a bit more creative with regards to trailers and how we gonna present it, what's it gonna be like. So if you guys have enjoyed our last few trailers, that's also really nice to know because we really worked hard on it.
Nice, thank you both. So before we jump in, as I said, and also it's in the title of this stream and everything, we will be talking about environmental design and how we actually create our maps and arenas for elimination and shootout. We will be talking a bit more about our trailers, how they are actually created and what is the process behind them. We will be also addressing some of the discussions that are going on in the community right now, so stay tuned for that. And we also have a small announcement to make, so stay tuned. Alright, so let's jump right into it. We will probably start with Victor. So you work as an environmental designer, but what exactly does it mean? Like, what is the job description?
Well, basically I create the landscape and then populate it with houses, vegetation, rocks, and also the functionality, so loot events, airdrop spots, for example, stuff like that. And make sure everything works and is playable and it's fun.
Nice. Thank you. And how long have you been working as an environmental designer?
I've been working on Vigor since 2017, so basically from the beginning. Yeah, I basically started as a junior, and yeah.
Nice, cool. Thank you for that. Right, so can you please describe a bit more of how the process actually goes when you are creating a completely new map, like from the beginning to the finished product?
Yeah, I spent a lot of hours on Street View and like looking at photos, trying to come up with an idea of some environment, some level that we don't have or would be nice. I come up with the idea, I do some sketches, then I create the landscape, and as I said, slowly populate it with houses, roads, lampposts, rocks.
All the essentials.
All the essentials you get blocked on when you're playing. And then when it's pleasantly full, then we do the playtesting, we make sure you don't get stuck on anything, that there is everything that there needs to be, the loot events, everything works. And then basically when that's done, then it's time for the minimap, the loading screens, coming up with the names and stuff. So yeah, and also a lot of bug fixing afterwards.
Alright, and what maps have you personally worked on when it comes to Vigor?
personally, like from the start to the from start to finish, I worked on the Vigor station, which I need to clarify. I didn't come up with the name. It was decided. It was decided in the team. I didn't have much say in it. So and all the other maps I basically contributed, like filling in the missing stuff, bug fixing, also some of the new game modes on the previously released maps. For example, shootout on Kerstin, elimination on Fiske, stuff like that.
Nice. I will just stop you for a bit because we had a question in the Twitch chat actually about the headless bug, and basically it was hotfixed yesterday, so no more headless Outlanders running around. Everything should be working properly right now. Once again, we are sorry about it. We are really glad that we were actually able to release this hotfix before the next update. So yeah, just so you know, everything is fixed now. It was actually really unfortunate because there was no workaround, because if you were wearing specific outfit during the update, like during the release, you remained headless until the next update, basically, even if you changed the outfit and headgear and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's like one of those things that sometimes it happens. Like you release an update and something that you weren't anticipating for it, right? And something just like this happens. So that means that people need to like really work hard to fix it ASAP. And our team did just that. They just like worked really hard to provide a quick fix in a timely manner without letting it be in the game for too long, you know?
Yeah, exactly that. And also it was really unfortunate bug because, you know, like we have so many outfits and only one of them was causing this issue. So it's nearly impossible to try all of them before you release an update, especially since we are a pretty small team. So even our QA department isn't like, you know, too many people, so it's impossible to try out absolutely everything in the game. But thankfully it is now fixed, and also it has been a source of many amazing memes. So
the memes are the best. The memes are definitely the best.
Also, I have seen a few people commenting that we should bring it back for Halloween, which would be pretty awesome if you ask me. But anyway, so yeah, this is fixed, and we can move back to the environmental design. I still had a few questions for Victor, and also someone in the chat was asking, I don't know where the question is. Yeah, here it is. Question for Victor. Have you considered changing points of interest location on existing maps? I don't really think so, because
not really consider changing, because I don't know, we don't like to just delete stuff out of nowhere, but I don't know, maybe adding some more. Like I'm aware some parts of the map are like a bit more sparse, which was like intentional, but definitely there was some consideration of adding a bit more, but yeah, we'll see. Nothing specific though.
Thank you. Righty, moving on. Yeah, what was my next question? Yes, this one is good. Which map is your favorite? Like from the environmental design point of view, like which one do you like the most?
Yeah, that's really hard to tell though, but I quite like Grondheim, because I like sort of more linear maps, which are not so open, which just suits my playing style, which is not really like you know, but Grondheim is nice because it's sort of a big corridor basically in the valley, and I also like Kerstin and Fort because there's this open you know, landscape, and also the contrary part of the inside of some big structure, which is like a nice change of, you know, the scale. I like that.
Kerstin is like also one of my favorite maps.
I like the aspect that you can actually kind of get lost if you don't like.
It does have this claustrophobic feeling. Like you're in the corridor, like first time playing, you're like, where do I go? What do I do? And then, you know, you have this feeling like, oh my god, I'm lost, I need to get out.
It's sort of some sort of urban exploration vibes for me. I really like that. So
It's really nice.
All right, fair. Good points, actually. Which brings me to my next question. What do you think is the most challenging part when it comes to creating a new map? Like, what is the most challenging process?
Well, for me that kind of changed because at the beginning I was not struggling, but I found it difficult to like the final polish of the map. We're supposed to, you know, place a lot of garbage and like visual stuff, so making sure it looks properly random and just thrown away, and also like not too random and not you know, and also that part getting stuck on it, and it's but it kind of goes with the experience. With some time, it's, I don't know, I think it's better for me now. It's most difficult is coming up with the names. Basically, that's not really my jam. To be honest.
Like we were actually discussing this before the stream, and we nearly died laughing.
I was not expecting this, to be honest. That was the last thing I was expecting when I was like, "What's the hardest thing?" Naming it.
Yeah, because everything else been done so much. So.
Yeah, but like, I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, oh wow. So which name do you actually like the most when we are talking about it? Like, which name do you think fits the map the best?
Oh. I don't know, when it's sort of somewhat descriptive, I like the Fiskefabrik.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
That's nice.
And stuff like that. Sagbruck is also nice. Sounds nice.
Yeah, it sounds nice.
Fjellkanten for me, definitely Fjellkanten. It's like one of the most Norwegian authentic names that you could come up with for like that type of map.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But at the same time, it got like, I needed time to get used to it because the internal name for the map was different.
Yeah,
like
that's the other thing.
For a really long time.
Always stuck with the work in progress names. So
yeah. Exactly. But yeah, that was actually really interesting. And also, let's see the chat if they have any questions. Someone was mentioning that you are playing a hardcore mode because you are not.
I'm not. Yeah, no headset mode. Yeah. Let's just see what happens.
Exactly that. And let's see. Someone is Tiny Online is asking, what is the percentage of active player base that have maxed their shelter? I don't know because I do not have the data with me right now, but it's a really good point for Jonas actually. He will be joining us on one of our next dev streams, and he's our analyst. You probably have seen him on some of our dev streams in the past, so I will make sure to tell him that he should bring some interesting data.
Jonas is our guy for this kind of stuff, definitely.
So we will make sure to ask him, and hopefully he'll be able to provide you these numbers. Righty. And let's see, what other questions do we have for Victor? Yes, this one is mostly, like, I'm really interested in hearing the answer actually. Because when we are creating arenas for shootout and elimination, we usually we always take places from already existing maps or from new maps that are yet to be released. Like, how do you decide what is the best spot for the new arena? And I guess that it will be different for shootout and elimination, probably?
Yes, and that's also quite... it also depends. It's quite difficult to answer, but basically I try to pinpoint the place on the map that already has good placement of some structures, so I don't have to change it that much, and there is some potential for best potential for good fights. That means not a single house on a playing field, but at least a few of them together. If we're talking about elimination, we add a lot of stuff anyway. But basically, I like the more linear it gets and more narrow. So it's quite different from the encounter. So the more like straightforward vision you get, the better for me. And also then I like a bit more variability to it, and so basically I just pick a place on the map which already has some good arrangements of buildings or some natural like rocks and stuff. And in case of elimination, I also like to change it up a little bit. Some of the parts could be in the interiors, and then other arenas could be mostly outside and mostly on a longer distance. So it gets switched up a little bit, so it's not it doesn't get boring.
Yeah, actually we released 2 new arenas for elimination in the last update. So you were choosing from the maps that we already have. Do you have a reason why you chose this particular map for the arenas? Like, not really like you liked the structures?
I kinda had it in mind for some time, because it's quite an obvious thing to do with an existing map, to just add more game modes. So I kinda had some nice fights in these places, and I was thinking like, this could be a nice place to just focus on and have a few more tries at just a good fight in here, because in the encounter you doesn't really go your way every time, and when is the next time you're gonna get to the factory itself and have a good time there. So
it's one of those things that goes to show, like, unless you actually go there, test it out, have a nice gunfight in that area, you won't know, like, oh, like that would be perfect for elimination or something.
Oh yeah, exactly. We'll just quickly check the chats as well. We had a question about the golden weapon skins, why we do not release all of them to buy. Well, actually we are saving them for different occasions, like special events, holidays, stuff like that. So it is supposed to be like this really exclusive stuff that you have to wait for, which only makes sense because they look absolutely amazing in my opinion.
They do. They are glorious.
Which actually brings me to another exciting thing. So there will be another booster apocalypse coming this weekend. So yes, this time for elimination, 33% off on all of the elimination boosters. So make sure to check out our social media on where is this event going to start, and yeah, please enjoy. Righty.
Nice.
Ooh.
So jumping back, and I think that we can give Victor some rest.
Yeah, for sure.
And
you've done your part, man.
Like I still have a few questions,
Okay.
but we'll come back to them.
We'll circle back to that.
Exactly. And we will jump into Tony's part, which is the trailers. So I don't know if you guys want to switch with the elimination gameplay or stuff like that, or if you're
just finished. What a timing!
What a timing! Nice.
Wow!
Almost.
Wow!
Good.
Talk about perfect timing.
And since we will
Thank
be
you.
talking about the trailer, I will leave it playing in the background just so you can get an idea of what the trailer actually looks like if you haven't watched it already.
Yeah, that is a nice looking trailer right there, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome. So, well, can you describe the process? Like, how do you actually create an update trailer?
So the process is it's very fun because it's very creative. So initially, like, we work with the other guys on the team, on the marketing team, so we know that this is the kind of story that we want to say in the trailer, right? So the initial phase is that we kind of brainstorm some ideas of what we would like to show in the trailer, or what the scenes would look like, basically, and what kind of story we want to say. After we have narrowed it down in terms of ideas, then we kind of consult with the video guys, and then we let them know, like, hey guys, this is what we want to do. So for example, for Vigor Chronicles Absolution, we wanted this like claustrophobic feeling, this like found footage type of vibe, very, you know, like atmospheric and everything. And we told them, like, we would like to do a bit of mocapping, and we would like to apply this filter. We want to have a few Easter eggs hidden. So if anybody has found them, kudos to you. And for the people who haven't noticed it, maybe you could check it once more and see what you can find there. So after we consult with the video guys, we set up a date that we are going to be recording the scenes and any mocapping sessions. But the cool thing about this trailer right here for Vigor Chronicles Absolution is that we actually didn't have this bunker that you can see in the trailer. So that corridor where people are, you know, sliding under, going over stuff, door sliding open, and then going into that bunker room and everything. So we didn't have anything like that. And so we came to Victor, and we asked Victor if he would be able to create this sort of environment for us. And he did an amazing job, I gotta say. Everything looks absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, we're actually really stoked about the end product of the trailer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, the trailer is just perfect. And while we are talking about it, which one of the trailers is your absolute favorite, actually? Like both of you, but let's start with Tony.
Man, that's pretty hard to say. But if I had to choose, I would say Vigor Chronicles Vengeance, because it was the first trailer where we actually got to try this sort of new approach to the trailers with mocapping and creating a story and a narrative through the trailer that it would be later, you know, like explored in the tapes as well. So with Vigor Chronicles Vengeance, it was something that we were trying for the first time. Everybody was super hyped, super excited to try it, but also we were kind of scared. Like, what if it backfires? What if it goes wrong? You know, we didn't know, but we were like, you know, let's give it a try. And we did those mocapping sessions where, you know, the barn door opens and then you got the hand pulling the lever, putting on the mask. It was everything was like super cool.
Yeah, especially the part with putting on the helmet.
Putting on the helmet, yeah, that was like the whole thing about it. The reveal from the casket comes up and the lights and the fog it was pretty extraordinary. Also, I have to give kudos and a shout out to Antonis, our artist, because he was the one creating most of this stuff that you can see in the trailer as well. He also did for Vigor Chronicles Absolution, he did the machine with the radiation. So like when the radiation goes into the bottle and then you... So kudos to Antonis as well.
Nice, exactly. And how about you, Victor? Which trailer is your favorite, or don't you really have a favorite one?
Yeah, I like the trailers. Same with the Absolution. I liked. I also did a little bit of work on that one, so I like it. And I fondly remember the first one, the announcement trailer. That was a cool one.
Oh yeah,
action packed. Yeah, that was nice. And yeah, the latest one. Yeah, also yeah, it's
the first and the last.
Yeah, you know,
the two ends of the spectrum.
How can you pick a favorite in this?
Alright, also I forgot to ask you, what trailers have you personally worked on?
Okay, so the first one that I started working on was Vigor Chronicles Vengeance. So basically all of the Chronicles, after that I was part of like the creative process behind them. So yeah, I've only been around the company for like a little over a year, so I'm not as seasoned as Victor is. I wasn't around for the release trailer, but if I was around that time, I think it would also be like a really cool experience to do
it was
it.
that big. I mean, all of us were waiting for it, right?
Yeah,
It was coming out, so it was this big thing. We were also on Gamescom at the time, so
Must have been cool.
It's really amazing. Righty. Also, I have seen a few discussions in the chat, but we, as we are talking, I cannot possibly catch them all. But some people were discussing the radiation grenades and that we should probably make them more deadly, which is really interesting because, to be completely honest, as we are going through all of the feedback and collecting it and discussing it with the team, the community seems to be really divided. So please feel free to put your opinion, your feedback in the chat. But some people think that they are actually like too strong, especially since the radiation stays there for the whole encounter, right?
Yeah.
Which for once kind of makes sense, like radiation is this like really strong thing that you can't get rid of that easily.
Yeah.
And some people apparently think that they aren't deadly enough. So we are still gathering all of the feedback. We are also looking at the data on like how many people actually have the blueprint, which is also really important because from time to time you can find the parts in the encounters, but I don't think that many people actually already own the plan because it's pretty high.
It's pretty high on the battle pass. I mean, you gotta put in the effort, put in the time, level up, get the blueprint, and then you can start testing it out in actual encounters.
Like, we were already gathering some feedback from our partners because they are usually able to try the update well in advance before it gets released. But it's a bit different because it's really a limited amount of people, and we also gave them around, like, I think 50 grenades.
Yeah. That's a completely different ballpark when you have 50 red grenades.
Absolutely. So, I mean, there are still some, some blank spaces that we are waiting for feedback on. We know that there are a few tweaks that we will have to do, but other than that, we are still waiting for all of the feedback and for more people to actually get the blueprints.
That's true. I mean, just bear with us for a little bit until we have enough data that we can actually work with, because right now, as Pirit mentioned, we just don't have enough data that we can actually rely on. So we're waiting for the people to kind of progress through the battle pass, get the blueprint, try it out, and then we'll see if and when we'll have to do any tweaks.
Yes, exactly. Also, there is one way how you can, heal from the radiation or limit its effect, and it's iodine.
Yes.
Which is something that we are currently looking into, and we will be tweaking it a bit. So it's more accessible, which should make it easier to, fight the regular grenades in the encounters, even though the radiation stays there for the whole encounter. So we will see about that. But so far, when we were playing on the public build and stuff like that, I don't think that they are that overwhelming.
I don't think they're that overwhelming as well. I mean, if you plan your, let's say, usage of iodine, I think you can actually manage to get in, loot, get out without dying. They're very situational, which is exactly the fact that it's very polarizing. You got people who like it, people who don't. But let's just wait and see. Give it a little bit more time. Let's see if people actually get used to it, and maybe at the end, maybe some people will change their minds. Some people who don't think that it's people who think it's OP might change their mind, or we'll see.
Exactly. Righty. So thank you for the input as well on the radiation grenades. And we will circle a bit back to the trailers.
Yeah.
So what do you think is the most challenging part of creating a trailer?
The most challenging part is definitely managing expectations, because when we start thinking of a trailer, we have ideas we're shooting to the stars. We were oh, let's make it epic and make it cool and make it awesome. And we have so many great ideas, but at the end of the day, realistically, some of them are not possible. unfortunately. And basically, we also need to work with a tight team. So we have a very tight team. That means limited time, limited resources. Sometimes we really need to rush things so that we can manage everything, because there's a lot of stuff going on. So you need to always be on top of things, always manage to prepare everything, set up all the recording sessions and all of that. So yeah, definitely time is also a factor. But yeah, all of these things a little bit combined kind of make it hard. But I have to say, even though there's like difficulties, I'm very happy with what we've put out in our like last, I don't know, like 4 or 5 trailers. I think we like really stepped it up.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and also like the ideas for the new one. I mean, it will be absolutely epic. Yeah, we can't spoil anything else, but it will be really awesome. Right, and since we talked about the like parts that are a bit more challenging, what is the most fun part? Like,
the most fun part, it's actually like the recordings themselves. When we actually get to do a bit of mocapping and stuff like that, that's always really fun. It takes a lot of time to set up everything, but at the end of the day, it's very, very fun to be part of this process. Sometimes, you know, I was actually, like, fun fact, in the trailer, the moment where the explorer pushes the guy off the chair, that was me. That was me on the chair. That, like, the body dropping, that was me, actually. Immortalized in video forever.
nice. That's actually a cool story.
Immortalized, really? I don't know.
But yeah, and it's also like, it's also very fun to tie in the trailer and the story together with the cassettes and everything. So we wanted to like keep it going and tie the trailer to the story and the cassettes as well. So that's also very fun. It's very creative. It's very nice. And you kind of have a very like broad way how you can connect everything. And that's really fun.
All right. Thank you so much for digging into it. Is there anything else you would like to mention about the work on the trailers and like stuff like that?
I mean, like, we're always trying to step up our game and make it as cool as possible. And like, obviously we're getting some inspirations from different things as well. Either pop culture references or something that we are inspired from, and we always try to make the best of it. So stay tuned, and some cool things are coming your way as well.
Nice. All right, thank you so much. Also, another thing that I wanted to mention, and obviously if you have like any questions, please put them in the chat. We will try to answer them, but actually like there are too many people watching today. Like I'm really glad that y'all are here, but it's really hard to keep track of all of the questions. But as I said, we wanted to also address some of the discussions that are going on in the community right now. And one of the biggest ones is the loot. The loot redistribution, to be completely straight. And basically we are seeing the feedback, we hear you guys. The basic idea was to get the loot more scattered around the map. Did you actually have to, you know, run around a bit so you're not focusing just on the few spots that you already go for right away. And the idea was that you should actually find more loot just on different places, which I think to a certain degree we have achieved. At the same time, there is another level to it, which is the like loot events, which is another story. It's not completely connected to the loot distribution, but the contents of the loot event, like, you know, stuff. And we will be actually tweaking this one. Yes.
So by loot events, we do mean, you know, it's the BART house, lock container, time safe. These are like the loot events. So we are going to be tweaking the loot that is in those specific things. you can look forward to the tweaks in the coming updates, I guess.
Yeah.
And we know, like, we heard some feedback that people said that loot in the loot events was not affected, and that's why we wanted to take a look at it as well.
Yes, exactly. So we will be tweaking that a bit, but with the distribution on the whole maps, we are pretty satisfied with that.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, obviously you have to run around a bit more. At the same time, I think that it only makes sense, and it also is nice for the looters.
It is kind of nice for the looters. I'm personally a looter myself.
Exactly.
Like, my playstyle is more looting. And I don't mind having to run around the map a little bit more, just so I can find those bits and pieces that I'm looking for. I mean, I don't mind it at all, and I think it kind of serves the purpose of the game.
And as DJ Spencer actually mentioned, the best loot isn't always in the loot events. Learn the maps and know where the loot is. Exactly. I mean, since we changed it a bit, now is the best time to kind of, give it a few encounters, run around, learn where you can actually find the loot, stuff like that. It's really, practice makes perfect.
Exactly. But it's also fun, kind of switching up your style sometimes. Maybe, go in into an encounter a bit more passive. Just run around, check what's there, get to know the feel of the place, and then maybe, next one, boom, be more accurate and just you know where you're going for.
Exactly. So as Tony mentioned, this is actually something that we are planning on changing in our next minor update. Someone was asking about the time frame of that. It always stays the same. I mean, there is one major update and then one minor update, which is usually in between the seasons,
True.
1 week here, 1 week there, but usually in between the seasons. So you can definitely look forward to that. And also many quality of life changes. I would say that the next minor update will be really fixing the experience for a lot of players.
It's not gonna have anything game changing, but not game changing, but a lot of things that we think the community is really gonna appreciate.
Yes, most of it was actually driven by the community discussions and feedback that came after 12.0 and also the previous minor updates. So hopefully you will enjoy it, but we will see about that. It's coming.
It's coming, stay tuned. It's on its way.
Righty. So this was for one of the discussions, and I think that I still have some questions for Victor regarding the environmental design. So yes, same question as I had for Tony. What is the most fun part when creating a map?
Yeah, the most fun part is definitely coming up with the idea and the first concept, the first gray box, which is the simplified landscape with just not much detail, but already playable, and we test it and this sort of earlier stage is that's the most fun for me, traveling around Norway on Street View, just finding some nice spots, nice corners, and then just sort of remixing it together. I really like that. And these early playtests are, they are really laid back and fun. I like that.
Nice. Also, guys, since we already have Victor here today, if you have any questions regarding the maps, the creation of them, or any of our already released maps, please put the questions in the chat right now so we can answer them once we have him here. And one last question from me, personally, are you working on something new right now?
I am definitely working on something new.
Cool.
Let's leave it at that. Okay.
Nice, thank you.
Definitely something in the works.
I think that's really excited.
I have a question for you as well, actually.
Okay.
How many hours have you spent on Google Street View?
A lot. I don't know, maybe thousands.
Maybe okay.
It's a big part of the early stages of you know, picking the references, screenshotting, this sort of arrangement of trees and bushes and this sort of road looks good. Let's save it somewhere. Yeah, and yeah, I have a list of bookmarks that takes forever to scroll down. So yeah.
Okay.
Also, the original sin is asking if you are looking for inspiration outside of Norway as well for the map.
Of course. Like just the spatial relationship of road to ditch to some hills in the background or some factory can be anywhere. A lot of times I drive somewhere here in Czech Republic, I see some like interesting place and I come back to it in Google Maps and like take elements of it.
Nice.
Just not the visual stuff that's gonna identify it as not being Norway. So.
There you go. That's inspiration. Go on a road trip somewhere.
Yeah.
Take a couple of pictures
so
and then.
someone in the chat correctly says Kerstin was based on a Czech dam, which is
Yep,
correct.
that's also true.
It's actually pretty close to Brno as well, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times.
I haven't been there, but I'm looking forward to it at some point.
Recommend it.
Yeah?
Definitely don't try to get inside and loot it.
I won't.
They don't like that.
Like we have many different questions in the chat regarding new maps, what is possible and what is not. Obviously, as Victor said, he's working on something new, but we cannot tell you anything right now, guys. I mean, we would be just spoiling the surprise. But yeah, I think that so far what I've seen, it looks really cool, and you can look forward to it. Anyway, what else we wanted to mention today? Yeah, just one more reminder for those of you that are not watching since the very beginning. We will be having another Booster Apocalypse this weekend. It's 33% off on all elimination boosters. So make sure to check out our social media for where it's starting, and yeah, hopefully you will enjoy that. And let's see. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat right now so we can answer them. And is there anything else you guys wanted to mention regarding the maps, the trailer, or maybe anything else? I mean, on every stream we have this really nice question: what is your favorite part about the Vigor community? And I think that I've seen it only once today, but I think it's a really cool question, so if you can answer it.
The memes for me. The memes definitely.
The memes are definitely up there.
Yeah.
But I really like that a lot of you guys are like really passionate about it, and we really do appreciate that. Most of you will put your time and energy and effort to provide us with clips, tell us what's wrong, if you find a bug, and like let us know about it so we can actually investigate it, and you provide us with enough details so we can actually start working on it. So yeah, I really appreciate all the people out there who are like very passionate about the game, and we are as well. We really want it to be the best it can possibly be, and without you guys we wouldn't be able to do it.
Exactly. Nicely said. Thank you.
Well done. Couldn't say that.
Tear in my eye.
And my favorite question, since we were already talking about the maps, but what is your favorite game mode?
Favorite game mode. I like encounters, and I'll tell you why. I like encounters because it relies on your senses, it's very reliant on the senses, where you are, what you're doing, what you're hearing, and everything, and that's what I really enjoy about it. Plus, you can also play in whatever style you want: looter, shooter, guns blazing, or stealth and sneaky. Sky's the limit.
Yeah, I personally I like the elimination more, because as was said in the encounter, everybody has a different style, and my style was always just shooting. Because I don't know, I like to play it simple. and the more chances I get to actually have a good shootout with someone. Yeah, I really like the elimination because you have like more tries in the fight, but encounters is good for me too, but I tend to play it really slow and just with shooting. So yeah.
Nice, alright, thank you for that. And I have seen a lot of mentions of the LMGs, which is these are the weapons that we tweaked in our most recent update. We are watching the feedback carefully. We will see what we can do. We also will be looking at the data. But to be completely honest, this is really hard thing to tweak. Everyone has different preferences. And we knew from the very beginning that if we want to fix the gunplay, we will have to tweak a lot of things when it comes to weapons. And we are going category by category, which can sometimes create these issues. At the same time, I still think that some people were actually able to get used to the game style right now.
Yeah.
Some people hate it with burning passion. And we are still like gathering all of the feedback, and hopefully there will be this good balance for everyone, but you cannot please everyone at the same time.
That's very true. That's very true. But like we are trying our best to like keep everything like as balanced as possible, and like sometimes you can do it, sometimes it takes a little bit more time until you find that like right balance between all of the guns. And when you have so many guns as we have, because we do have a lot of guns, it's kind of difficult to find that sweet spot.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But we are definitely trying our best to bring everything into like a balanced state.
Exactly. Also, it's 40 a.m. is asking why are the knives kind of yeah, it's everlasting question. I mean, we all know that knives aren't necessarily the strongest part when it comes to Vigor gameplay.
They're not. We would love them to be.
Well, I mean, it has never been a priority because there are so many things that the community would love to see, so many things that we personally want to do and introduce to the game. And after all, it's loot and shoot. Not really.
Knife and loot.
Knife and loot. So up until now, we were always kind of like pushing it to the side. As you know, we aren't releasing any new knives or anything for a lot of updates now. So there's like this limited amount of knives that you can get in Vigor. I have still seen a few people getting like pretty cool knife kills.
Dude,
but
if you get a knife kill, like kudos, like well played.
Yeah. But at the same time, we know that this is not our strongest, feature. But for now, we aren't planning any big changes. As you all already mentioned, we have many different categories of weapons that we want to look into, what we already looked into. And to be completely honest, knives are at the absolute bottom of the barrel, I would say. Unfortunately,
guys, but that's the way it is, we would love to fix melee and make it like more, viable and supreme. But unfortunately, like we have other things that have a higher priority, and that's how it goes sometimes, we cannot do everything, and our capabilities are also limited. Like our team is not the biggest in the world, and we're trying to do our best.
Knives are the original hard mode. When you run out of guns and ammunition, you have to go to encounter with just a knife. You get a challenge at least.
Exactly. And also, like, to be completely honest, I think that after the years, I already know you guys a little bit, like our community. And every time you want to release a new feature or like a change in the update, like you have only a limited amount of this stuff that you can actually release because you have limited amount of people, time and everything. Just imagine that we scratch something really fun and new just to tackle with the knives. I mean, I honestly think that you would eat us alive at this point. If there was something like bigger, better, shinier, like new stuff coming, and instead we focus just on the knives, it would be like, I don't know, like I don't trust you guys.
Riot.
That, to be completely honest.
Riot.
A radiated knife, of course.
Radiated knife, okay, alright. There we go. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Someone is not having enough radiation.
If you get at least one stab in, then the guy is just
getting radiation damage.
To stop the radiation. Yeah, nice idea.
Not even iodine will fix that.
It's like insta exit or you're dead.
Because the second slash is never guaranteed, So.
And also, if you have any more questions, we still have a few minutes to go, like around seven minutes until the end of the stream. So make sure to put them in the chat so we can try to answer them while we are live. Also, another big thing is the elimination changes. That has been also a big discussion in our community. We hear you guys, we are gathering the feedback. Also, there are a few bugs connected to that. Not too many, but there are some things that we will be fixing for the next update, so you can look forward to that. Also, we were kind of playing around the idea of elimination crates actually giving XP, so it will motivate you to do better.
Yep. There's a lot of things that are on the table right now, and what we're just waiting for is to get more data before we actually do make the decision, because we don't want to jump the gun too early, right?
Yeah.
We're waiting for the right time, get the data, evaluate it, and then we'll see what's the best course of action.
Honorable Bandits is asking, any plans for a solo encounter mode for new players would be a great addition to the tutorial, as it doesn't explain a lot of the mechanics. Is a really good question. Short answer, no, we are not planning to do completely solo encounter. At the same time, the team is currently working on improving the onboarding experience.
Yes.
The beginning of the game for new players.
Yes.
We know that it has been lacking in so many places. So we are currently working on that.
I have to say, onboarding, we started working on it in previous updates, and it's still a work in progress. So we're gradually tweaking it, making it a bit more polished, adding some stuff to it. So it's definitely a work in progress, and with every update we add a little bit more something to it, so that by the end it's gonna be a very nice, very nice smooth onboarding experience. So yeah, not exactly a new solo encounter, but you guys definitely can wait for a new revamped onboarding experience.
Let's see, something else. Any plan to have crossplay alive with Xbox and Switch? Doing duos, I guess. Going into duo with Xbox and Switch player. Sadly no, there are no plans for this as of now. And I'm seeing a lot of interesting ideas for new emotes.
Okay, new emotes, we're definitely open to suggestions.
Yes.
And new emotes is something that we would also like to add at some point in the game. So yeah, you guys can throw in your suggestions, and we can definitely think about it, discuss it with the rest of the team, and then we can see what we can do about it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them, sending a kiss, for example, or hug emote, also knocking on the door, stuff like that.
Knock, knock.
Yeah, feel free to start a thread on Reddit or on our Facebook groups, or maybe even on Discord.
Yes.
Just throw in ideas. We will see what we can do. But it's really fun to watch actually what you would like to see, because sometimes it can get really disconnected, you know. And
Yeah, definitely. I see a guy give us a DX emote, suck it, but like not that one, but I would do this one definitely.
Right. Anyway, we still have 2 minutes to go, so a few last questions. Also, if there's anything you would like to answer or anything you would like to add to today's stream, feel free to do that. You also have 2 minutes to go. So
I see a lot of people here are wrestling fans. I am one myself, so I see the original Sin biceps pose, hand to ear, the classic Hulk Hogan pose. I am down for that. I am definitely down for that.
Nice. Let's see. Keep the questions coming, please. Show me your hands emoji.
Show me your about his like.
Oh yeah. Bloke is a door knocking, and hug emote. It's also nice. Let's see. Last minute question. How much fall damage did Wardog take in the last 5 minutes? Oh, Jesus. Poor Wardog. This is going to stay with him.
Yep. I'm sorry, man, but you know, it is what it is sometimes.
Righty. So, I would like to thank everyone for watching today. Thank you for the amazing questions. I'm really sad that we weren't able to answer all of them. At the same time, I really wanted to make this stream kind of special since we have Victor here and he was able to explain more about the process of creating our maps and stuff like that, which is, I think, like a big stuff that you are always looking forward to. Also, thank you, Tony.
Thank you for having me here.
Taking us through the process of creating our trailers. They look absolutely awesome. And the last one is just, amazing.
I'm happy. We were going with some like The Thing vibes for any old school horror movie fans that saw The Thing. That was like one of the sources of inspiration for us. And next one is gonna up the ante a little bit more.
Nice. Is there anything you would like to tell to the community? Who wants to start? I mean, I won't pressure you.
I'll go.
Okay.
Thank you guys a lot for your like continuous support of the game, being vocal, being passionate. We really appreciate it, and we always take your consideration or like your ideas into consideration with the rest of the team. We always try to do what's best for you and for the game itself. It's something that everybody on the team is really passionate about as well. So just be patient as we try to figure out some of the bugs, try to polish the game, try to make it better and bring it into like a state where, you know, like everybody's like mostly happy and like there's no like major bugs or issues. And I think for the better part of the last year we've been doing this. We've been like gradually like taking off some of the problems and like bringing new stuff in, making the game like better and more enjoyable for people.
Thank you.
So yeah, thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Aww.
Yeah. Thank you for playing and for exploring the Outlands.
Thank you guys. Before we end this stream, just for all of the people out there, can you both please say punch his beard off for Mr.
Should we do it at the same time? Like a countdown? 3, 2, 1 and then go?
It's like a classic on every stream. Everyone has to do that. Punch his beard off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1 and then we say it.
Okay.
Alright? 3, 2, 1. Punch his beard off!
Nice. Alright, thank you so much. Let's end it here. Thank you guys for watching and we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
See you in the Outlands. Bye bye.